Hello boys and girls from second grade, it's Mr. Lucero and we're going to start working with a video class. Well, let's remember a little bit. We did grammar number one, review simple present and present progressive. So in this part we identify and see the difference between simple present and present progressive. The idea was to read those sentences and to put them in the correct chart. Affirmative, negative, interrogative for the simple present, affirmative, negative, and interrogative for the present progressive. Does your family ever sit together to play games? In the game Go, the players don't roll dice. At the beginning, Jack and Jill are playing chess. At the moment, Jill isn't winning. Are you learning how to play Monopoly? In the game Settlers, players build villages and roads across the road. So you put them in the correct place. So I'm going to help you. We want to see the present progressive. We use the five fingers. Pronoun, be, verb, ing, and a complement. So if we can see here in letter C, we have Jack and Jill is like the pronoun. Are is the verb be, playing the verb plus ing, and chess at the moment is a complement. Is an affirmative one. Jill isn't winning is a negative in the present progressive. And are you learning how to play Monopoly is the question. So here is the present progressive and the other sentences in simple present. If you didn't do it, get ready. We use the simple present to describe habits and we use the present progressive to describe activities in progress. So, for example, here in activity number 3, we have some exercises as complete the sentences with the correct form of the verb in parentheses, use the simple present or the present progressive. Remember, to identify simple present or present progressive, you need to be careful with time expressions. For example, if I say every year is a time expression for present simple or simple present here. Okay, our school have a chess competition. Also, adverb of frequency, like for example, sometimes or never, could be used with a simple present. I never take part because negative form I don't like chess. C. At the moment. Be careful with this time expression because it expresses progressive. In this moment, I am watching the competition. Right now, it's also a time expression for progressive. Lou, negative. Lou isn't playing right now, but Will is beating his opponent. Time expression. Okay, Will often wins the school competition. Will, is standing up and he's smiling. He won. Okay, this is pues the activity for the grammar session. Let's continue with activity number 4. Read the text below and complete the sentence with the correct form of the verb in the parentheses. Use the simple present or the present progressive. In this part, there is another activity so that you need to complete using the verb between parentheses. Okay, this activity is going to be for you. You can make them in groups and help your friends. In this part, I'm going to help you. It says underline the correct verb tense. Letter A. Board games helps kids interact with each other. Games help. You don't or you doesn't. Of course you don't finish a board game like you do with a video game. My friends are playing or play Monopoly now. Remember now is time expression for progressive. My friends are playing Monopoly now. I don't like this. A verb doesn't exist, okay? I don't like it. Some, some people don't play or play board games very often. Some people plays or don't play. Exactly. Some people, plural, don't play board game very often because they assume all games are long and boring. Ready? Yes. Now, in this part, we have our order. Order the words to make questions. So the idea is here. Here you have some words are not ordered, so you have to order. You how often play board games do? How often do you play board games? Your teacher watching is right now TV. Is your teacher watching TV right now? Mhm. At the moment you what doing art. What are you doing at the moment? Celebrate. How do your birthday? You. How do you celebrate your birthday? Like playing your family does board game. This is for you. I'm not going to help you here. When you finish doing the questions, please, in number 7, answer the question in activity number 6 so they are true for you. Okay, don't invent, it's true for you. Okay, thank you. Now, let's continue. Now, let's continue with the listening activity, the travel game. In this activity, you can see two people, a boy and a girl, in a car. They are drinking something, I don't know, and listen to two children describing three travel games. Do you need a pencil and a piece of paper to play it? What's your opinion? You are traveling in a car. Is necessary a pen, a pencil, or a paper? Yes or no? No, that's right. Okay, listen. What are you going to do here? You are going to listen and answer the questions. So here have game number 1, game number 2, and game number 3. And there are questions like how many questions can these players ask? What is the answer to each question? What do the players describe? How many sentences do you have to say? What is the game called? And what number does the players count to? Pay attention.
Unit 8, Track 78, Activity 1.
Game 1. Animal, vegetable, and mineral.
I start. I think of an object, but I don't tell you what it is. I can only say if it's an animal, a vegetable, or a mineral. You can ask me 20 questions to discover what the object is, but I can only answer yes or no. If you guess what the object is, you win a point. If you can't guess the object, I win a point. The winner is the first person with 5 points.
Game 2. Journey in the dark.
I have a good game. It's Journey in the Dark. Close your eyes. I describe what I can see out the window. I say 3 sentences, 2 true sentences and 1 false sentence. You have to guess which sentence is false. When you guess a false sentence correctly, you get a point. Let me give you 3 example sentences. Close your eyes. A man is riding a blue bicycle. A woman is sitting in a yellow car. A boy is walking on the road.
Game 3. Fizz Buzz.
Let's play Fizz Buzz. We count up to 100. I go first. I say 1, you say 2, and so on. But if the number is a multiple of 3, you say fizz, okay? If the number is a multiple of 5, you say buzz. So, if the number is a multiple of both 3 and 5, you say fizz buzz. For example, you don't say the numbers 3 or 6, you say fizz. And you don't say 5 or 10, you say buzz. But for the number 15, you say fizz buzz. If you pause for a moment or if you make a mistake, you are out.
Okay, class, you listen to the audio and the idea is to answer the questions. So you can work in groups and try to look for the answers. You can play the audio many times so that you can get with the idea and answer the questions. Now we have a listening activity. In this listening activity is a speaking activity about a chess competition. So Rose and Adam are talking about chess competitions at school. Listen and complete the dialogue. So the idea is to listen to an audio and complete A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and finally I. Pay attention.
Unit 8. Track 79. Speaking.
Look, Adam, there's going to be a chess competition at school next month. Do you want to take part?
I don't know. I don't think I'm prepared for it.
How come? You are the best player at school.
Not really. And I need to practice to train my mind for different moves.
So, time to start. What are you doing right now? Just moaning.
Well, I need a partner.
I'm in, but remember, I know some rules, but I don't practice as much as you do.
Like you said, time to start. But as long as you don't talk a lot while you play.
Okay, I'll have a try. After all, like all other games, it has to be fun.
I can teach you some nice moves too. No worries.
Okay, boys. Okay, girls. We finished with our listening activity. So complete the conversation and practice. Remember, you can make this conversation personal so you can transform the conversation. Also, you can see functional language talking about interests. Do you want to take a port? I don't know. I don't think I'm prepared for. I have to try. Okay, let's continue on page 129. And the activity is about culture, and it says Canadian checkers. Okay, it's a reading activity. We can listen and says, read and listen to the information about Canadian checkers and choose the correct information. A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Then says there are many variants of checkers. Is this board game played in your country? What is the board size? How many pieces per side are there? Do you play checkers? What other board game do you play? So, listen please.
Unit 8. Track 80. Activity 1.
Canadian checkers. Canadian checkers is a variant of checkers,
quite popular in Quebec. Also called Canadian Draughts, this game is played on a 12 by 12 board of 144 squares with 30 pieces on a side, and not a 10 by 10 checkerboard of 20 pieces per side as in international checkers. Why is this so? The story goes that a traveler who arrived in Canada from Europe was trying to explain the game to his Canadian friends, but because he didn't remember the number of squares on the board, he came up with a board with 12 squares per side. However, the rules are the same as for international checkers. The game is played by two people on opposite sides of a playing board, alternating moves. One player has dark pieces and the other has light pieces. Pieces move diagonally, and pieces of the opponent are captured by jumping over them. A player wins the game if he or she captures all of the opposing player's pieces, or if he or she leaves the opposing player with no legal moves. If neither player can move, then it is a draw or a tie.
So boys, here you need to listen or read to the information about Canadian checkers and choose the correct information. For example, Canadian checkers is popular all over Canada or mainly in Quebec. No? Or Canadian checkers is played on a 10 by 10 checkerboard or on a 12 by 12 checkerboard. So that is the idea. Listen and try to select the correct answer. And finally, we have this page with vocabulary, places to visit. So the idea here, for example, is to see some places. Our gallery, campground, fishing port, market, monument, safari park, statue, town square, and water parks. So you listen to me and practice. Then you can match the pictures with a vocabulary, and then we're going to practice. No? Choose the correct words. Chris, the Red Dimmer is a statue or an art gallery in Brazil. Okay, Plaza Mayor is a famous market or town square in Spain. The Great Wall of China is a monument or a market in China. Okay, thank you. And finally, once again, we have this reading activity about summer vacation. Read, please, and answer true or false. Okay, boys. Okay, girls. Thank you very much. It's been over for now. See you next